sure he could pull off. It began with a high feint. Cat went at Dimitri's left ear with a strong, hacking stroke, but instead of bouncing off Dimitri's guard and spinning back inside, Cat stepped away and let his staff slide off. He spun quickly outside of Dimitri's sweeping reply, brought his staff under his arm, and stabbed it backward into Dimitri's midsection. As Cat expected, Dimitri parried away the jab. Cat used the momentum to spin a second time. This time, as Cat came around, he used both hands to deliver a crushing high-to-low chop at Dimitri's head. It was like splitting wood with an axe. Just aim for the center. Cat knew Dimitri would have to block the blow with the center of his own staff, between his hands. When Dimitri did so, Cat kept the pressure on, momentarily pinning Dimitri. But in the span of a heartbeat, Cat jerked back with his left hand and wrenched a sudden upward thrust with his right. He meant to bring the right end of his staff under Dimitri's left shoulder, a devastating blow. If only he could connect. But he could not. Dimitri ignored the coming attack. He simply let his own high block collapse down to shoulder level. Then he exploded both fists forward, burying them and the center of his staff into Cat's chest. Cat flew backward, his feet scrambling for ground, but to no avail. He sprawled onto his back, and in a daze, he blinked at the sky. His ears rang, and he tasted blood. Cat wiped a trickle of blood from the corner of his mouth, grabbed his staff, and tried to stand. He had been beaten soundly, and as he gained his feet, he found himself shaking. But it was not from fatigue. Rage boiled up inside of Cat such that every breath felt hot in his nostrils. Energy surged into his muscles, and his heart raced. He approached Dimitri with singular purpose. Dimitri did not know Cat, did not recognize the intensity of Cat's glare. Thinking the battle was over, Dimitri dropped his guard. Cat lunged and cracked his staff against Dimitri's left wrist. Dimitri dropped his weapon, clutched his hand, and began to backpedal. "Cat, no!" shouted Father Brun. But Cat heard nothing but the thunderous cadence of his own heart. Cat slammed Dimitri's right shoulder. Then he spun and drove the end of his staff into Dimitri's gut. Dimitri doubled over, and Cat went to finish him off. He raised his quarterstaff high and brought it crashing toward Dimitri's head. But a dark staff caught the blow and flung it away. It was Father Brun. Quickly, he stepped between Dimitri and Cat. His eyes glinted as he stared at Cat. "What's the matter with you?" he shouted. He took a step toward Cat. "No," said Dimitri as he stood. He grabbed his own staff back from Father Brun and gestured for him to stand aside. "The lesson is not complete." Father Brun reluctantly moved, but stood ready to intervene. Dimitri glared at Cat. Cat wanted to look away, but found he could not. "Is that the man you are?" Dimitri asked. He held up his staff and then cast it aside. "I am unarmed, you see. Would you like to strike me again?" Cat's lips thinned. He swallowed, and all at once the rage drained away and he felt empty and ashamed. He threw away his staff and sprinted back across the courtyard. He ran clumsily up a flight of steps, half stumbling as he reached the top. He raced back to his chamber and slammed the door shut behind him. Cat turned and saw the mirror. He'd meant several times to ask one of the brethren to remove it, to make his room as austere as their own. But the almost constant training had pushed the mirror from his mind. Until now. Now, it taunted him, drew him with the treacherous gravity one feels looking over the edge from some great height. Despondently, he drew near and gazed at himself in the glass. Blue eyes, gleaming intensely beneath thickening brows. High angular cheekbones sliced by sideburns. A narrow, tapering nose, and thin, frowning lips. In all but the hair, the visage of his father. I am just like him," Cat whispered. Bartholomew Thorne's cruel image lingered like a scornful ghost. Cat wished he'd never remembered his father's face.